Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to all. Selamat pagi kepada semua. Pertama kali kita ucapkan kesyukuran kepada Ilahi kerana dapat bersama-sama kita untuk kursus berkaitan dengan AI Enhanced Alternative Assessment, which is for your information, which is the third course related to assessment for the first 6 months of this year, organized by CAES. First of all, introduce myself. My name is Anjuran. I'm the Deputy Director for CAES. And now I would like to introduce our speaker for today, which is Associate Professor Dr. Chin Kim On. Okay, so Dr. Chin Kim On, sorry, is an Associate Professor at University Malaysia Sabah with a PhD in Artificial Intelligence and core expertise in machine learning, biometric recognition, evolutionary robotics, and the Internet of Things. Actively teaching since 2010, he has led and contributed to over 45 research grants with more than 4.2 million ringgit, with 60 index journal articles, 34 index proceedings, and several academic books. He is also recognized innovator with multiple registered software copyrights in the field of e-learning. In particular, Dr. Chin served as the penyelaras on emerging technology at UMS Pusat E-Pembelajaran, where he leads initiative involving AI, VR, and other digital tools to enhance online education. Okay, so for the assessment for the course for today, we will learn about alternative assessment related to AI enhanced methodology, which is related to our day-to-day tasks as a lecturer. And of course, for the next 3 hours from 9 a.m. Right now to 12 p.m., 3 hours. So we're going to learn a lot from Dr. Chin in order to improve our assessment methods and therefore improve our education as a whole, as educators as a whole. All right. Okay. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Dr. Chin to continue to discuss. Over to you,
Right.
Dr. Chin.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Sani. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, as Dr. Sani introduced, I'm Chin Kim On, and I'm not the instructor for today. I would like to say that it is knowledge sharing sessions. Okay, so maybe the contents from my slides you already know a little bit because CAES them already conducted few alternative assessments, talk or seminars, right? But I still hope that what I'm going to deliver will be benefits you, especially in the AI parts. Okay. All right. This is my name. Yeah, Dr. Chin Kim On, and my research area, as Dr. Sani said, basically I focus on the machine learning parts and image processing, the sentiment analysis, and a little bit on the STEM and education. Where I taught teachers before about what is IoT, what is programming, Pythons, everything. And on the other side, I am one of the MBOT APP, MQA MPP also for the computing side. And then a whole position as emerging technology coordinator now for about just half years. Former Deputy Dean for about 3 years and former Head of Program for about 5 years, just to introduce short introductions about myself. All right, let's look at today's content. First, we will touch about traditional assessment. I know that most of us already know what is traditional assessments, but we have to understand first the fundamental knowledge. I'm not sure other speakers whether they have shared the knowledge on the traditional assessments or not, but we have to make it clear. And we will discuss about the pros and cons, and then we will discuss a little bit about why alternative assessments. So basically, this particular part, this first phase, like I call it, all right, will take about probably 1 hour for the fundamental knowledge, right? And then we will go for the second part, which is the alternative assessments. And all On the alternative assessments, we will talk about AI enhanced assessments, how we can apply. I will share with you the examples. I will also go for the simple demo. And then I hope the demo will actually give a short insight so that you can do it yourself. All right. Because previously I tried to do some hands-on online. I found that it is not that effective, where most of the lecturers cannot follow. They hold the handphone, so they can't do it. Okay. I'm not sure, maybe they attend another meeting or maybe they attend another course or whatever. But I found that it is not that effective. Yeah. That's why I shortcut everything, just show a simple demo, but I will give a quite number of examples. Okay, so before we start, let's go for a short survey. I hope you can scan the QR code if possible. And then, so that I know your knowledge. Okay, so we do it in 5 minutes. Right, let's continue. So the first question, what type of assessments are you currently using in your teaching? We have irrelevant responses. Okay, 23 responses. "28. We target half lah. We have total 85 participants, including me. So we target about 40. "38. Yalah, 38 pun jadilah. 41 sudah. Okay, so half of you have respond, half of the participants have respond. Thank you. So now let's check for the first question. What type of assessments are you currently using in your teaching? You found that from these, all of these assessments, I think highest one is written exam. Yeah, no doubt. We have final exam, right? So I'm sure most of you will answer this one. And then this also include midterm, okay, sitting for midterm. And then presentation, yeah, usually we will have presentations and group projects to assess students' effective components. And portfolio, very less, just about 3%. That's normal. That is normal. Okay. Because it depends on, because it depends on the participants, not participants, depends on the lecturers. Hold on, I'm not sure why my cursor sounds like having issue. It highlighted the text. Wah, apa yang terjadi nih? Okay. Never mind. All right, then we follow with the rest MCQ. And then case study, problem-based. It's quite surprised that you have a peer or self-assessments. When I evaluate most of the programs, okay, I found that lecturers seldom use peer or self-assessment. Okay, most of them focus on the final exam, midterms, short answer, short essay, and then most MCQ. True false spoon, very less. Okay, surprised that you have 7% of you that use true false. Huh? It's okay, nothing is wrong. Just want to see your understanding or your implementations of assessments. Okay, next we go for it's stuck there. I don't know why. Okay, we just do it for the form like this, easy to control. Now it's okay. Maybe that is the issue with the Microsoft form. Okay, next we go for the second one. What kind of impact have you current assessments had on students? Okay, you want to improve their critical thinking, problem-solving skills. Good, very good. Better engagement and motivations. We should have more. Okay, we should have more activities with students, especially for the current generations. You found that they don't like to sit on the chair and then listen to the lecture. There are those TikTok-based learner, we call it. They want everything to be short, fast, and compressed. Everything concise, we call it. And a deeper understanding of the content, yes. This is also what we are going to target, actually, so that they know more, okay? And then enhance communications and collaboration skills. This is very important and always emphasized by industrials. We send our students for the industrial training, for the internship, right? They always complain that students not good in communicating, and then they are not very keen to show they are good in their skills or whatever. Maybe they're shy, okay? And help students take ownership of their learning. Yeah, it's good actually. That's why we have a student-centered learning, and then we have a peer learning, peer teachings, okay, all of those activities. Okay, no significant impact notice. This is not constructive alignment at all, okay? All right, and then the next one, are you interested in exploring or adopting alternative assessments method in your teaching? Okay, yes, because you want to improve students' engagement, that is good. Yes, you want to reduce reliance on traditional exams. This is what we should do, actually. We should move forward instead of asking the students to sit on the final exam, traditional exams for a few hours, and then they have to memorize everything. So better we do some activity and assess the skill, because after all, skills is very important, soft skills also. Yes, but I need more guidance and training. That is good. I'm sure that is the reason why you join this knowledge sharing session. And yes, if supported by institutions policy, actually, it is not about just about the policy itself. It is about revolutions. Okay, past 20 years when I start to teach, and now it's I would say that there is a revolutions of educations at the back. We don't see if we do not focus on that. If we do not go to other institutes or other schools to learn from teachers, we will found that we are always using traditional methods, and we don't encourage the students to study. End up the students will waste their time to study. Why I say waste the time? Because old style teachings, we ask them to remember. But now there are so many informations already available. It's totally different. 20 years ago, we don't have good internet service. We don't have good resources. Very, very difficult for us to find resources. But now, very easy. So how we can engage students with students and then encourage them to study, to go for lifelong learning skills. This is what we should do. Okay, don't look at the policy anymore. Forget about the policy. Just do it. Okay, just do it. No, I'm satisfied. It's good. It's good. Not sure. Oh, ini ada sedikit masalah ya. Not sure nih. Okay, are you currently using AI tools? Oh, 27%, generating quiz and test questions. Yes, you can do it, but not that good if you do not review it correctly. Okay, later on I will show you how I do it. Maybe you're doing this, but the options I give over here doesn't mention that. Okay, next, yes for grading and evaluating students' work. That is good. And then yes for providing personalized feedback. That is good. And then yes for detecting plagiarisms or academic integrity issue. Basically, if you are senior lecturers and you have many years of teaching experience, when you read the students' content, the writing, you will immediately know whether they copy from somewhere, because the writing style is totally different. If you use AI, non-AI, they write themselves, will be different. Okay, you don't really need a plagiarism system to detect. We can read the content, we can know whether the students write it or not. Okay, but then this requires experience. And yes, for analyzing students' performance or learning pattern, that is good. Okay, not many lecturers or teachers doing this. And no, but I am interested in exploring it. That is the reason why you joined this knowledge sharing. Yeah? No, I have no plans to use AI for assessments. You may, but we should move forward. Okay, we should move forward, like I said. Okay, now I try to share the full screen again. Hold on. How I can do it. All right. So are you looking at the full screen or my lecture screen? Anyone?
Full screen, full screen.
Okay, good. That is good. Thank you. So we move forward. We go for the traditional assessment first. I'm sure most of us, for the seniors one, already know what is traditional assessments. So this is just a recap, okay? That's why I didn't put a lot of words in the slides. I just tried to explain it. Okay, first one is the written test, which is the most boring one, but most effective, okay? It involves MCQ, short answer, essay, true, false, fill in the blank. This is what we always do. So usually we will do this when we want to give a quiz, short quiz, okay? Or maybe a lab test. That is the most easiest one. Yeah. And then the second one, we go for the examinations. This is very formal one. Usually we will give certain time, like 2 hours or 1 hour or 3 hours. So 1 to 3 hours depends on how you design it based on your table 4. And usually we will apply for a midterm exam. We will apply for a final exam, or maybe oral exam like Wawasan. Okay, we have the Wawasan form, we have the field, what are the skills involved for the students, and so on. So this is called examinations. And usually examinations will be very strict compared to the written test. And then we will have invigilators to help us. And then, yeah, there are rules. There are rules over there. Written test, usually we will conduct it more informally. But still, we will collect it. We will depends on the time and then standards, how we design the questions, the settings, everything. Next is the assignments. So this can be go for individual assignments, or group assignments, or homework exercise, or case studies. It depends on how you want to do it. Okay, but usually it will take few weeks to months to complete an assignment. Okay, this is why we want to differentiate it, yeah, assignments. And next is the presentations, which is, yeah, most of us use this after we have an assignment. We want the students to present. We want to test their communication skill, the presentation skill, and so on. So we might have individual presentations. We also might have a group presentations. Okay, and Website also have another form which is related to presentation to assess the students' communication skill and presentation skill, and then whether they are able to answer the examiner's questions. Okay, we will assess that in such a way. And then in some of the university, they also have seminar talks to assess the students, especially for postgraduate students. And I attended one activity they call Sulam activity. I have been invited. I was invited as examiner to assess the students' presentation skill. But at the site lah, we did the Sulam activity. So this also can be used for presentations, assessment, and class participations. I'm not sure whether you all involved with class participants. Class participations. This is about engagement. Previously, when I attend one of the my lecture, Prof. Jennifer, she likes to use this assessment method. She said that written test is always test the students' memorizations. If the students is very good to memorize and can focus, okay, they can score on the exam. But it doesn't mean that they have the required skills and they can think out of the box. So what she did, she always likes to complete the whole lectures within 1.5 hours. Okay, that is about the slides. So after she blah 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 for 1.5 hours, the rest of the 30 minutes will be on class participation activities. And usually she will ask questions, point one by one. Okay, she don't mind whether your answer is correct or not. She just want you to participate in answering the questions, give the opinions, then she will provide the feedbacks. So after you have provide your answers, provide the opinions, she will tick on a sheet. Okay, so end of the semester, you will find that whether you have answered it correctly, whether you have give a good response from that. Okay, she has her own rubric marking scheme about the participations. So throughout the activities, students asking or answering questions in the class, or maybe you can come up with a rubric matrix about students' discussions, group discussions. Okay, you want to access the students' leadership skills and interpersonal skills. All of these you can do it with class participations. Okay, I hope this is clear. Because I ever accessed one of the program as an onboard panel, I found that the lecturer misunderstand class participations is not attendance. Okay, there is no point for us to evaluate whether the students has attended the class or not. This is participations. This is not attendance. I want to emphasize. So don't take attendance and then give the marks based on attendance. Right? They should participate and engage with the lecturers and students. And next is about laboratory assessments. Lab assessments, very clear. This is for science subjects. Okay, you can have a lab report, you can have a lab practice, post-lab reports, and so on. It's about writings. Okay, and then we may have project. This is very common use. Assessments methods. Everyone use it either for short 1 semester or for maybe 2 to 3 semester. It's up to you how to design the curriculum and justify why such a timeline is given to the students to complete the project. Okay, it may be also involved with a research-based project, or in other university they call it as capstone project. Okay, this is very common. And next we will go for portfolios. Yeah, not many lecturers use this assessment method, but this is considered as traditional methods. Always applied for art students, language or writing writing courses. Okay, where early of the semester, lecturer will give certain tasks, and then students compile everything into a portfolio. Up to the end of the semester, they will cover everything, and that is the full portfolios. I joined one of the elective course for art, batik. Okay, about batiks. So from the drawing itself, start from the drawings from scratch, and then colorings. All right, and then choose the right tools about the candles, everything, and then do the batiks, design the batiks. Then up to the last output was this kain batik. Okay, we designed that. So this is considered as portfolios project. This one is very suitable for arts one. Next one is recitations and oral reviews. It's all methods about interviews, about verbal explanations. A little bit different with presentations. Presentations is more on you present what is your findings, and then lecturer asks very basic questions. Okay, there is no debating, but we want to assess the students' knowledge and then how they answer it. Okay, but recitations and oral reviews focus on defending your answer. It's like debate. It's like debating activities. So you may have few group of students, a case study, debate which one is correct, which one is wrong. A very simple example like my knowledge sharing today. We should continue for traditional assessments or we should go for alternative assessments debate, right? So you will have few group of students, maybe two groups of students, one for the pros or traditional assessment, another one for the alternative assessments, and then the rest become the peers to evaluate. Okay, so you can combine out of these assessments. And the last one is teacher observations. Okay, we seldom use this because it may create a biased situations where teacher dislike students, then dislike the particular students, then low mark is given. Okay, but still it's a very good tools or assessment methods for us to assess for us the monitoring the students' behavior, the students' skills, whether these particular students really have the right skills. Some of them, if they work in group, only few students focus and have the right skill. One or two just follower. They actually follow the leader, say, oh, yes, 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 do it, do it, do it. They don't have the right skill. They don't learn the skills. Okay, so teacher can observe and give the marks. But seldom, very seldom we do it in a university because university just given about 14 weeks, right? Too short for us to do the teacher observations assessments. Okay, that is the traditional assessments. A very common used one as the form I showed you just now, the Microsoft Forms. We also found that written test is very common, MCQ, true false, okay, exam, final exam, assignments is given, presentations, we did it, lab assessments also, and projects. These are the 6 very, very common used traditional assessments, while the other 4 are less common, I would say. Okay, depends on the course itself, depends on the nature of the course itself. But it's okay, okay, it's okay. Okay, next we will look at the pro first. Why we want to use traditional assessments. The first one is about objectivity and standardizations. We always talk about how we can assess a large group of students in an institutions. In university and school is different. School maybe we have about 30 to 50, maximum 50 per class. But in a university, we may have hundreds or more, 150, maybe 200. And then during the tutorial, we split into small group. Or during the lab, we split them into small group. But lecture still, we do it in a lecture hall. Okay, they involve all students because the content is same. And we want all the students to have the fair, same opportunity to get the knowledge. That is the reason why we use objectivity. And it is standards like MCQ standard. We have ABCD. We have the level of taxonomy. And then we have numbers of questions. And the standard one question would be 2 minutes probably. Okay, you assign to the students. So all of this talking about standardizations. And also easy for us to do a grading and markings. And of course, the last one is about the OBE, how we map them, how we do all of this. Okay, so the second one is about efficiency and scalability. Design questions is not that easy, not that simple. Okay, so with traditional assessment, that will ease us in designing the questions and come up with the answers. And of course, if you want to increase the difficulty or we want to adjust the questions, it's much more easy for us to do that. Okay, that is the efficiency and scalability means. Next one is the foundations for factual knowledge, which means we want to test the knowledge. The easiest way for us to test the students' knowledge is to use traditional assessments methods. No doubt, no doubt, this one. Because we have standard questions for all students, I repeat. So if you want to know whether the students have learned that particular knowledge or acquired that particular knowledge, this is the traditional assessments is the most common used one, right? And we have the fixed answer, and the questions answers can be mapped also to the OBE and so on. And next is about familiarities and credibility for students. I'm not sure whether you're aware or not. If in a situation that you do not know type of the exam or questions, okay, type of the exam or the type of the questions, you will actually feel a little bit scared or stressed, or it will increase your anxiety. Okay, I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, but this is happen. This always happens where when this happens, okay, actually it creates the cons side lah. Okay, so what we should do is we create a standard one, and then we tell the students what will be asked during final exam. I'm not talking about the questions. I'm talking about the format. Okay, format. So if you have tell the students that 30 marks is on the MCQ, and then 20 marks is on the short essay, and then 40 marks is on the essay, and then the rest will be on the true and false. So students will prepare for that well. They won't feel that stress. Okay, instead of if you don't tell them, you just tell them, okay, final exam, you cover this chapter. Good luck. Bye. They don't know what kind of question will be asked. Okay, they do not know that. Then the students do not confidence with what they have read. And still back to the traditional way, you're actually forcing the students to remember all of the facts instead of think out of the box. Okay, so if you want the students to not only score your subject, your course well, but understand more in depth of the subject, then you should tell them about the format. Okay, about the format. And usually I will tell them, okay, these few chapters, because we have the table 4 to align all of the CLOs, the assessments, we tally it. Okay, tell them final exam will cover this chapter. Okay, MCQ for these marks, short answer will be this part. Okay, so the rest will be on the case study. And the case study, I'm not talking about definitions. I'm not talking about memorizations. I won't ask you to memorize everything. I will ask you out of the box. All right, tell them what will be the type of the questions that will help them to prepare themselves well for the assessment. Okay, next is good tools. Traditional assessments always help us to diagnose our students or analyze our students' results so that we know that, okay, which chapter that are good, which chapter that are weak, why they are good, why they are weak, whether they have acquired a particular skills. If you have mapped everything correctly, after end of the semester, it will be easy for you to analyze their results. Okay, they perform good in quiz. Why? Because of MCQ or because the level of the questions. Is it too easy? You will know more on that. Okay, if too easy, maybe next semester you can increase the level of the questions to another level. Instead of just asking about definitions, you go for apply. All right, and then another semester you found that they still score very good, meaning that the students are smart. Then go for analyze or compare. So you should adjust. Okay, we should adjust and create more assessments so that we can produce good students. All right, how about the cons? The negative parts is limited assessments of higher order thinkings from not only from the papers, from the articles that we read, actually, when I visit field programs as a APP, I also found that lecturers always ask about definitions. Definitions is it so important for us to understand what is the definitions? This is the first questions I always ask the lecturers. And then we debate, okay? But you know that after the students graduate and join the company, join the industries, no one will ask about the definitions. They only want you to understand what is that particular term. Instead of you remember it, every single word. All right. If you can understand the word, you'll be able to describe it. You'll be able to explain it. For an example of this slide, I just put limited assessments of higher order thinking. Okay. But I didn't put the notes and then read from the notes, right? I explain it myself. This is the way how we difference between understanding and then remembering. If students remember this, every single word, there is no point. There is no point. Okay, the next one is lack of real world applications. We always ask what we want to ask, but actually industrials always move forward faster than us. So that is the second limitations, okay, happen for the traditional assessments, and always refer to some textbooks. So if you're referring to old textbook, your real world applications will be old, will be outdated. Okay, so try to relate to the real world applications, and later on I will show you how we relate to the real world applications. Next one is induced stress and anxiety. Like I said, when we face exam, okay, it will actually create stress. I'm not sure whether you believe or not. When I was young, I'm not sure whether this happened to you or not. I have a group of friends. One of the friends loved a lot about minyak kapak. I'm not sure whether you know minyak kapak or not. Every day, you will find that normal day, he don't touch minyak kapak at all. But when come to the exam, okay, when you meet him, actually you will smell minyak kapak. He hold the minyak kapak. Don't know why. So I asked, why? What happened to you? I'm stressed. I'm headache. That happened only on the exam part. And then the other students, during exam, the normal day is okay. Okay, one day maybe one times or twice only, he will go to the washroom, to the toilet break. Okay, but during exam, especially 10 minutes before exam, you won't see him actually. He will be always in the toilet. He say that sakit perut. So what happened? Because of stress. Tidak pun the toilet, he's not doing that business. He just want to sit over there. Okay, that is the way how he reduce the stress. So that happened when we go for traditional assessments. That always happens. Why? Because students fear of fail. We always fear of fail. We don't want to accept the fact that it may fail. You may fail. I may fail. I may fail for this subject. I may score low marks. I'm not sure what happened at the back. Probably if we score very low marks, then we go home, our parents will scold us. Or maybe we felt shame compared to our friends. Our friends score very good results, but I didn't. Then I felt shame. And then I don't want to repeat the subject. Okay. Students don't want to repeat the subject, I mean. So they felt the stress, right, during the assessments. But actually, if you compare before traditional exam, before final exam, okay, they perform very good. Only during final exam, they didn't perform good. It also might happen. Okay, I have in the university, undergraduate students. He was very smart. He's very smart actually. During the class, he's the one who always answer my questions. When I ask, he answer. When I ask, he answer. He always never give a chance to other students to answer. He's not showing off because he knows a lot. He loves the particular course. Okay, it's programming course. So he always tried it. After I uploaded my lab exercise, he will complete it on that particular night. But actually, tomorrow morning only I will conduct the lab exercise. Okay, he already completed everything. He already tried everything. He loved the particular subjects. But when we go for final exam, he also didn't perform. Okay, he told me that he felt very stressed. So that is happen. That is always happens to our students. Normal. I would say that this is normal. Okay. Next is limited feedback and focus on product. This is always happens. Why I say always happen? Not only for the schools but for lecturers, especially because we are busy. We are busy with admin tasks probably. We are busy with postgraduate tasks probably. So what was happened when I did some when I was not currently previously back few years ago, I evaluate a few programs. I found that lecturers never collect students' feedback. So what happens? The lecturers deliver the lectures and then give the assessments and then marks, provide the grades, full stops. Okay, full stops. The lecturers only target for giving the marks and show it, the carry marks to the students. That's all. So students do not know whether they did it good or not. They only see the grade. They only see the marks. All right. So there is no feedback at all. And if the students is very, very proactive, they will ask. But for those who are not proactive, diamlah. And then for those who don't keen to score good result, we have a group of students like that. He told me that, sir, I don't want to score 4 flat. 3 point above cukup sudah. So for if you give him or her a B or B plus or B minus, ngam cukup rata 3.0, then he won't ask, he won't debate whether his answer is correct or not. There are a certain group of students like that. Okay, they just want to graduate, I would say. So it doesn't help them. It doesn't help them in the learning process. Okay, what we should do is we should always return what we have marked and then discuss with the students so that we collect the feedback. Because in some of the cases, our answer will be limited to an answer schemas that we have provided. But actually, they have more opinions. They have other answers as well. Okay, students will give you the feedback so that you can improve your curriculums. And the last one is do not cater to diverse learning styles, meaning that we always use traditional formats, assessments, and then the students already used to it. They already found that, this is the way how we sit for the exam. And then what we should do is always remember from the slides, from the books, from the lecture notes, attend the test, we score it, then bye. So we only able to assess their knowledge, fundamental parts, okay, not their HOT. We should go for hands-on activities, for collaborations activities, for creativities. We should go for that part so that we can generate critical thinking students or problem-solving students. Okay, don't look for traditional assessment if it is possible. So why? Just now I talked about the pros, I talked about the cons. Okay, now I give you more points why we have to move to alternative assessments, especially for the lecturer who answered just now. Apa sudah? Never think of why we have to move to our alternative assessments. Okay, first one is impact of traditional assessments. We can see just now there are pros and there are cons. So let us talk about the impacts. The first impact we can see is standardization. It's very clear. We have the MQA, we have the format, we have the templates, we have all of this. So it's considered as one size fit all. Very good. Okay, very good. Help us to do the gradings, everything, so that we can display the marks. Jobs done after one semester. All right, that is the good impact. Easy for us. The second one is talking about efficiency. As I said just now, we can extend the questions, increase the questions. Standard, everything is standard what you should do is you don't have to break your head to think more and more and more. Just follow the previous traditional styles, prepare more questions, come up with a question bank. I have a case before, but this lecturer is very good. Okay, he taught programming subject, C++ subject for many years, for about 10 years. So when he first joined university, for the first semester, he designed 10 questions. Example, for the quiz, okay, for the quiz, 10 questions, MCQ. And then he labeled it very clear. 3 questions is easy. And then another 3 questions, middle. And then 4 questions, hard. So he grouped that. Okay, he grouped that based on the CLOs. And then he mapped it. So after 5 to 10 years, I found that the question bank have been increased. The question bank have been increased. So when the 10 years he took the same subject, he didn't spend any more time to prepare the questions because the question bank is there, more than 100 of questions. And then it was categorized nicely, okay, based on group, based on level of difficulties. So what he did, always early of the semester, go to the LMS, set the question bank. Okay, this quiz, 5 questions from this part. Then this quiz, 5 questions from that part. Align to the table 4. Jobs done. This is what we call efficiency. Okay? So the lecturer is very, very good. And he shows me how effective and efficient it is using LMS. And of course, we have to organize it nicely in the early of the career, so that we have the group of the questions, question banks, I mean. Okay, next. But negative side, we have limited presentations of true understanding, meaning that we always test the students' fundamental knowledge. Level 1, level 2, level 3, full stop. Two saja. Okay, especially for a mathematics subject that I evaluate before. I found that students always ask, lecturers always ask about how to apply the formulas to solve this one, how to apply the formulas to solve that one. Never think out of the box. So in the table 4, only C1, C2, C3, full stop. Okay, he want to test the students whether able to solve the problems or not. But that is on the paper itself. If you put this into engineering students, they are good to remember the formulas. They are good to apply the formulas. Give a real problems, they may not be able to solve it. Why? Because your questions limited to apply the formula to solve this. But you never give a case study represent the actual situations. So they won't think out of the box. Right? That is the negative side. And the second one is negative impact on students' well-being and motivations, which is the one I said just now about the stress, about the NCTs, okay, about the grades. They're afraid that they score very low grade during end of the semester. So they try to memorize everything. But this is the old school learning style. Okay, this is the old school learning style. If possible, we should change that. And the last one is to not foster to lifelong learning. I'm not sure whether you realize or not. I always drink with students, chit-chat with students after the lectures. We go for drinks in the canteens. And then as previously, they call me as brother. Now become older, they call me daddy already. And then they will share. They will share about what they have learned. Okay, especially for alumni. Last 2 years after the COVID, I visited a few alumni in the KL. And then we sit down, we chit-chat everything. They were very happy, okay? But when I asked about the lifestyle in the universities, they felt happy, but one sentence, the truth is, actually, I don't know what I have learned for that particular subject. They honestly tell you for that particular subject, okay, with that lecturers, they don't know what they have learned throughout the semester. And they score A. They were very happy that they scored A. But is it considered as constructive alignments to the curriculum structure? It is not. Why? Because the lecturers always read from the slides, always give the same kind of test to test the memories. And after the semester, they forget everything. They forget everything. So this is not what we want. All right. And then it doesn't foster to the lifelong learnings, mean that they don't want to know more. After they graduate from the university, alah, forget about that. Never mind. It's okay. Okay. And they will stop there. When they go for industrials, if the boss don't ask for more, they will just stop there. They want to learn more. You don't understand more. This is the most dangerous part. Okay. Impact of traditional assessments. And this is the first point. And the second point is about 21st century skills. There are many debates actually about these articles. Okay, the articles sharing about this group of skills, fundamental literacies like what the students have learned, the literacy, the numeracies, ABCs, everything, scientific literacies. These are the basic one. Yes, we already pump these skills to the students. Okay, since they are in the secondary school, primary schools, they already learn this. And in the universities, we should go forward more out of the box, which is to here, to the center one. We should produce students who are able to, who have the skills, okay, these skills, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and the communications, collaborations. We should improve the particular skill. That's why we emphasize we should have more presentation skills, okay, and then peer assessments so that they can talk, more engagement. All right. And if from your course you found that you can improve students for their curiosity, for the initiative, persistence or grit, adaptability, leaderships, that will be much better. But usually this particular parts is more on internship parts. Okay, after they graduate, they join the company, and then whether these particular skills is acquired by the students. So the combinations of the full charts actually is referring to the lifelong learning skills. Okay, but in the university, we should emphasize more on this one, not this one. All right, knowledge is important. I know that fundamental knowledge is very, very important. Okay, but we should go for more activities and engagements for this part. All right, I hope this is clear. Okay, next one is real world relevance. We found that what happened is we always want to deliver the knowledge based on the textbook, based on the slides, based on everything. Okay, we have read. Then during the assessments, we want to test the students' connectivity, their psychomotors. Okay, we do more activities with them, and then we give more examples throughout the lectures, everything. Okay, so we hope that from here, the students will learn more. Okay, and after they graduate, they join the industrials. But actually, industrials, is that what they want? As I said, connectivity, connective knowledge, is that what they want? We found that actually they always refer to the problems. Okay, when they have a problems, they want the students immediately can solve the problems. Full stop. This is the industrial's needs. Okay, and then some of the industrial, they want the students to be more innovative, think out of the box. For an example, if the companies is having financial crisis, so how the staff can help the company? The managers, I don't know. We always ask the staff. Okay, so how the employees can help the companies? So they always want something like this, right? But actually, for a lecturer, how to design a real world problem solving task for our students' assessments? It's not that easy. It's not that simple because we are lecturers. We are not industry people. We don't always go to the industrials and meet them, discuss, chit chat to know more. So what we should do, we should invite them. Okay, we should invite them to have some engagement with the students, to tell the students, okay, for this particular course, we are doing this now, we are having these activities now. So these guest industrials or the speakers, we call them, okay, we'll have more activities with students, and then the students will know more about what is happening in the industrials. Right? And then from that particular speech, you design the assessments to assess the students. Okay, very simple one. I can give you one example. We invited Huawei to give a talk. Okay, so the Huawei shared about the latest technology about the networking. Okay, so for the students who have joined the talk, a network engineering class students, they have joined the talk, and then we designed a case study based on the talk. We asked the students to debate, and then defense. So it can be happen, and then we assess the students based on their creativity, based on how they solve the problems, how they debate. Okay, and then the peer, we also evaluate the debating groups. Okay, whether the points is correct or not. And actually, in most of the lectures, this is what we do. This is what we want to say. Okay, but the students is not interested at all. All right, and then this is happening. That's why they sleep at the class. Okay, I also changed my style. Previously, I talked about 2 hours in the lectures. Okay, now I didn't talk 2 hours. I talked 1 hour. All right, and previously my slides full of notes, definitions, everything. Now I reduce. I designed similar to this one. Just give you the point, and then I want the students to understand instead of remembering. If you look at my screen, I have the notes on the right hand side and the slides. Okay, but I don't share the notes to the students. I just share the slides to the students. I want them to listen to my lecture and then to understand what I have delivered. Then the last 1 hour, we will do some activities. I know that one lecture would be about 30 to 40 slides. Okay, it's difficult for us to deliver everything. So we should pick the most critical one and explain to the students and ask them to debate or ask them some opinions after the lecture, after 1 hour lecture. Okay, after 1 hour lecture, give them a 5 minutes break, come back, then we do activities, engagement. Okay, you will find that from the start, 1 or 2 lectures, they feel shy to share the knowledge. They feel don't know what to do because they never do it before. Other lecturers don't do it. Okay, but after class 3, 4, 5, week 5, you will find that in the class Guru Hara, they will fight themselves for their points. They know that it's enjoy. I can design my own answer, and then I debate with other groups, and then to get a supporter for my debating. Okay, they love the activities, they love engagement. This is now the current generations. Okay, then the last point I would say, why alternative assessment is needed because of AI on educational assessments. I'm sure AI is good. We talk about the good first before we go for the cons. Okay, the first one is personalized assessments. Previously, we always refer to some textbooks, some examples online, and then if you students want to learn more, okay, fine. If you can find the resources, then it's good. And most of them don't know where to find the resources. They just don't know where. But now with the AI, we can do it. Okay, in the lecture, I tell them, I already changed my style. I won't provide so many questions for you. I will provide few exercise. Okay, then you grab the exercise, paste it in the generative AI tools, and request for extra questions. It will actually give you extra questions. It will propose extra questions to the students so the students can try. Okay, and if the students found that it's too easy, increase the level of difficulty. You can just tell the AI, increase the difficulty for this type of questions. Okay, generate 3 questions. Then the AI will generate for you. So you don't have to find, you don't have to waste the time to read from the books. Okay, I still remember that when I was young, I tried to do some exercise, more exercise on the programming part. I bought one book, complete. Then I have to buy another book, tried it. But after you buy a few books, you will find that actually most of the textbooks are just fundamental exercise. fundamental exercise. Okay, if you want to go more out of box, then it's very, very difficult. But now with the AI assistance, it is possible. It is possible, and just based on the learner's performance. And it is 24/7 access and support. Okay, as long as you have internet with a notebook, you don't need a GPU at all. Okay, 8 gig RAM for the Windows 10 or 11 is good. Just go ahead. Okay, with the internet access. Okay, accessible. So you can ask, you can do, you can learn anytime, anywhere. The next one is intelligent assessment criterions, where AI can also generate more quizzes, summarizes. There are some AI tools available actually to assist you. I will show you one of the question well, but you have to subscribe if you want to generate more questions. But if you already subscribe to ChatGPT, I think ChatGPT is sufficient. Sufficient already. And then you also can ask AI to summarize the content so that you don't read the full papers. Because sometimes if we, especially for researcher, for some of the articles, after you read it, you found that there are a lot of formulas that you don't understand. But actually, you just want the point whether what kind of methods have been applied and how these methods actually enhance or improve the previous methods. You just want to know the main point. But the particular paper consists of 30 pages, right? So AI can summarize it for you and summarize for the students. There is pro and con lah. Pro, he will learn. Cons, if the students don't read, just copy and paste, then there is the con part, okay? There is a disadvantage part. And real-time feedback, I'm not sure whether you know about Stack Overflow, okay? I love programming, so every time when I face any problems previously, we will go for Stack Overflow pledge. We will post our problems, and then we will explain what are the issues we are facing, and then blah, 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 blah. If you're good luck, then you will get the response in 1 day. If no, then you have to wait for months, weeks, or 2 months, because it is community-based, okay, website, forums, that if there are experts, they know about how to solve your problems, they will post the solutions, okay? And there are also bad one. They just simply post their idea and you have to try it. Actually, they don't understand. They just simply post something. But okay, there is a reply and you don't want to miss a chance. You try to understand everything, the particular notes or information is given, then you try. Oh no, mess up the whole program. Okay? That could be happens. But now you can get a real-time feedback, instant feedback from the generative AI tools. Okay, will help the students to learn more, learn faster. Okay, and the last one I would say is gamifications and engagements. This one actually happened. Why I want to put this point? Last month, I have joined one of the STEM activity from schools. Schools try to guide the students, secondary students, Form 4, Form 5 students for learning, for assessing small activities. So I joined the activity. I found that the teacher was very good. He loved ChatGPT. He loved those online AI tools. So he designed a very simple gamifications. I wouldn't say it is a system because it's from ChatGPT. And then he guide the students how to create the gamifications to learn, okay, engagement. So the students feel very, very happy and then join the sessions and then do it. Okay, so you can ask ChatGPT. They actually ask ChatGPT to generate number of questions without answers. Then they try to answer. After they have provided the answers, score is given. Feedback is also given to the students. So it's like gamification and engagement activities. Yeah, these are the pros side. Of course, there are many. If you look for articles, you look for online resources, you will find that there are more pros in the educational assessments. But I think it's enough for us. And then we go for the cons. Because I know that there are negative side. Some lecturers say that applying AI for educational is not good. Why? Because of this. I grabbed 3 examples for you. This is TikTok video that have been shared. I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, where the lecturer, they claim as professor, blew up when he found that the whole class has used ChatGPT and quizzed AI for answering the questions, for answering the assignments. So that happens. I believe this is also happened in UTM. The students did that. Okay. So what is the point? We design the assignments, want to assess the students' knowledge, but end up students use AI tools to answers. So is that benefits the students and the lecturers? No, of course no. So change. We as a lecturer have to change the style of using AI tools now and posting the assignments. Okay, don't simply just give theoretical based assignments, but we should do activity based assignments. Instead of weekly assignments, we change to portfolio based, so they do part by part and in a group. That will solve the problems. So maybe you will say that they do part by part for the portfolio, still they can use AI, ChatGPT and Quizzed AI tools to solve the problems. But you have to pose more or higher level of questions so that they can think out of the box. Okay, and then you have to break the questions. You have to break the questions so that the AI tools won't that easily give you the whole solutions. Okay, this is the first point. And then the second one, teachers ask the students, this is an English teacher from US. So she said that if possible, okay, cut off the students' access to the AI technologies until the college. So what happens? She was an English teacher. She asked students to write down short response in sentences for answering questions. But she found that end up students only able to think of and write few sentences, 2 to 3 sentences, then stop. But she asked for 5 sentences. Students give 3 sentences. So why that happened? So she asked the students. Student says that she can't think more sentences based on the case. All right. And then also the students question her back why they want to learn all of these since AI can do it already. Since AI can do it, so why they still need this knowledge? Okay, they can just simply post everything online and then grab the answers, done. Right? They didn't appreciate of using the AI tools to learn, but instead they want to fully utilize the AI tools to solve the problems, which is wrong. Okay, this doesn't involve learning. The learning part is missing. Okay, and then she also claimed that she found students use AI for answering the questions. Why? As I said just now, if you are senior lecturers or you have teaching experience, when you read the student scripts, answer scripts, actually you will know whether the particular students answer themselves or they use any AI tools to answer it. Okay, the way how they write it and the way how AI write it is different. The knowledge also, they didn't ask them to think out of box, but most of them already think out of box. Give you more and more and more. Okay, where usually students won't think out of that far, then you will know that something is wrong. Okay, so we change it. We didn't say it's wrong at all. The students have used the tools, but they didn't acquire the knowledge. That part is missing. Okay, the learning part is missing. They wrongly use the AI tools. Okay, we want to avoid that. That's why we need the alternative assessments. And this is our local case. Okay, I'm not sure whether you are aware or not. The students claim this. I try to read now. I kasihan kat lecturers, especially yang bombers. They're trying to so hard nak bagi assignments berlambak, assignments last minute. Tapi sikit pun tak menyukarkan kami. Why? Some lecturers they did that. Okay, they post assignments last minute and then they give a lot of assignments. And then we can just tutup mata, just siapkan sehari sebelum dengan bantuan ChatGPT Premium. DeepSeek and Gemini. Assignment kami semua letup you all. Siap citations and references. So you see that now the lecturer asks the students to answer theoretical-based assignments. That doesn't help the students. The students can use the AI tools, just simply crack and solve the problems within a day or within few hours, okay, before the submissions. And then he also said, I'm not sure whether it's he or she, they also claim that hujung semester kalimat kami semua kau-kau. Okay, padu atas 50%. Final exam per jam pun dapat 30, nak score A. Kesian kan, dia orang tak nak game kita, tak dapat nak game kita. So actually, that particular lecturer already created very negative impressions to the students. It's not like lecturers give a lot of assessments to the students and then try to fail the students. Do you feel that when you read this? I'm not sure. Okay, but when I read this, I feel like, why the students having this concept? Seems like the lecturer try to fail the students and give a lot of assignments to the students, or maybe the lecturers want to make the students busy, so they post a lot of assignments. So something is wrong with that particular lecturer or course, I would say. We should refer to the course. We should refer to the constructive alignments. We try to assess the students' skill and knowledge at the same time. Okay, instead of just bombard with the number of assignments and then give the grades. No point. They didn't learn. Okay, they didn't learn. So this is a very clear case for our local students. All right, I have talked about 1 hour, I think. Okay, let's go for Q&A sessions before we go to the second part, if any. Anyone?
Dr. Chin,
Yeah.
tadi ada sebut try to pose a more higher level of question and try to give a question like AI also cannot find the answer. Yang tu yang we having some difficulties, I think, how to do it.
Ya,
Probably.
betul. Saya pun setuju. Tetapi point yang belakang tu, AI cannot find answers, itu sangat susah. Sebab AI knowledge is deeper than us. Okay? Jadi untuk menangani masalah itu, kita cuba jangan lagi post banyak assignment kepada students dan biar mereka buat di rumah. We do it, we have more engagement activity and assessments. So we will go for the alternative assessments with engagement. Alright? Nanti saya bagi beberapa contoh. Macam mana kita boleh menangani isu beginilah. Thank you. Any other questions?
For the summative assessment ni, it's suitable for both lah, yang formative dengan summative, meaning that for the final assessment as well as the yang formative tu yang macam quizzes pun kita ada alternative kan, for both
Yeah,
approach.
yes, I know that kita ni under MQA bah. Jadi bagi kepada formative dengan summative kan. Jadi summative assessment tu itu di beberapa university dan programs yang saya nampak dah mula menukarkan cara mereka menilai. Instead of going for formal final exam, mereka buat informal sudah. Okay, saya bagi contoh kepada subjek saya sendiri. Dulu apa yang kami buat, saya ajar programming subjek ya. Dulu apa yang kami buat, 40% go for summative. Jadi pelajar kena menjawab programming based subject semasa final exam. Okay. Tetapi masalahnya ialah apa yang kami menilai semasa summative tu, dia hanya apply sahaja. Kan kami ada syntax. Jadi dia kena hafal syntax, kena faham bagaimana untuk selesaikan masalah yang kami sediakan dalam final exam tersebut. Okay. So after that, we discuss among lecturers, and then we go for the faculty level, we go for the senate level, we switch daripada formal kepada informal. And now we have summative assessments, tapi based on lab closed sessions lab test. Macam mana kami buat? Ialah kami sediakan satu soalan yang memang real world problems. Tiada AI lah ya. Kami dalam lab kami memang dah siap-siap block AI tu. Jadi masa informal final exam tu kami panggil informal assessment, summative assessment tu, pelajar masuk 30 orang. Okey, setiap orang duduk di depan komputer yang disediakan. Okey, kita post soalan. Dalam masa 2 jam dia kena create the program based on the soalan to solve the problems. Macam final exam lah, they cannot discuss, they cannot use AI tools. So they will do the programming part to replace the formative, to replace the summative yang jawab panjang-panjang banyak soalan dalam final exam. Itu cara kita buat. Okay? Dan kenapa kita buat begini? Kita pun actually benchmark daripada beberapa university lah. Kita nampak, betul juga kan, boleh kita buat begini. And then that will actually relate to real world problems. Real words tidak ada minta kita go back to the syntax, mesti remember syntax and so on and solve the problems. And instead, boss will give you a random questions, a problems, and then you have to solve it immediately within few days or a week. Okay. Itu yang kita buat. So we try to adjust based on this one. So maybe you then for lecturers, you all have to go back to your course, find how is it possible to switch from formal summative to informal summative, and then replace it lah. Okay, and then replace it. But you have to go through the CAES punya approval and Senate approval, how you consider it is a summative one. Okay, I hope I answer you. Thank you. Okay, next question, if any. Okay, kalau tiada soalan, tag 5 kalau boleh, allow me to go for washroom for a while. Okay, 5 minit je ya.
Okay, PM.
Right, welcome back everyone. So let's continue for the second part. Ura Satya, are you able to see my slide full screen or the lecture screen?
Okay, PM.
Full screen, eh?
Yes, full screen.
Okay, then we go for the alternative assessments. So just now we already discussed the limitations of the exams. Okay, we try to recap ya. Mana tahu ada yang baru masuk. I know that lecturers are busy with the class and everything. Okay, maybe you missed the point, so we just recap a little bit. No worry, tidak panjang lebar ya. Okay, first one is traditional assessments always emphasize on promoting memorizations. Kita always focus on definitions, process. We try a lot of questions, try questioning students from memorizations part, and then very less on higher order thinking like comparisons, analyze, create. Okay, so that is one of the limitations. I can recall. I'm not sure whether this happened in your faculty or not, in UTM or not. When I evaluate one of the programs, one of the course, I found that they are very good. The lecturers have joined the OBE workshop, okay, during that year, and then the lecturer try to understand to differentiate between the level of the questions, and then they use the keywords. But the keywords actually is just example. Contohnya analyze, okay, taxonomy level for cognitive level 5 for an example, okay, and then so in the questions, in the final exam questions, the lecturer posts like this: analyze 5 what should I analyze 5 items used to solve this. Just an example. Okay. So basically, the first verb start with analyze, but there is no case study in the questions. It is just one question: analyze the 5 items used for the. That's all. And I was surprised why the keywords analyze term was used. Oh, the lecturer mentioned that, emphasized that he want to test the students' higher order thinking skills. So he used analyze. But from the question itself, you just want students to list out 5 items used to solve this. And it can be found from the slides bar. So actually you are asking the students to remember and recall what 5 items to use to solve the problems. It is not analyzing. Right? But lecturer misunderstood lah. If you want to use a higher order thinking, if you want to test the students' higher order thinking skills, you should pose us case study based on above case study. Then you have to prepare the case study, and then based on the case study, analyze what 5 items. Yeah, the 5 items could be came from the slides you have prepared, but from the slides maybe you have 20 items. And then the students have to analyze which 5 are the most suitable based on the case study. It's not simply post 5 and then you give the marks, isn't it? So when we ask the students, there is also a skill. Okay, try to improve the skill. And next is the stress inducing because of time constraint, because of fear of fails, because of all of these physical problems, okay, and that create stress problems to the students and also lecturer actually. And poor feedback cycles, we found that usually from the traditional exams, students don't know whether they have answered correctly or not. Okay, yeah, it's always like that. When we sit for summative exam, the students answer. Then after the end of the semester, they will get their marks, then the grades, full stops. Did they really know whether they have answered it correctly or not? No. Okay, the answer is no. So if possible, try to think out of the box, replace the summative one with the alternative assessments, and then and then we go through the feedback cycles so that the students know whether the answer they have provided is correct or not. Okay. And then why we want to go for alternative assessments? Because of higher order thinking skills. We want to access it. We want them to acquire with the critical thinking skills, creativities, and collaborations. So we go for this point. Okay. And then next is the real world applications. We hope that students will be exposed to more of the practical scenarios and then related to these to the real worlds, so that it will help them to find a job easily. Okay, I still remember one of the alumni. He loved to programs. Okay, so he posts everything online and store it in a GitHub. So he said that he was a bit lucky because when we went for the interview, there were 10 students. There were 10 students looking for the same job. All right. But during the interview sessions, the employers actually want to see how far they go for their skills. So one of the criteria is looking at the GitHub, where they want to know how many programs that the students have created and uploaded. And then they want the student to show, they just randomly pick, okay, you open this folder and then show me the program, how it works. And very luckily, our students did that. Okay, and then the problem is not actually real world applications, but he utilized the current trend, okay, current technology to do the programs. So the company end up hire him, okay, instead of the others 10, just because of that. All right. And then next is about continuous learning and feedback. This is very important, as I mentioned. lifelong learning is very important as well. Okay, so if possible throughout the semester we evaluate them, is better than we go for just only summative. I know that in the MQA we must have the summative components, but is that possible for us to do it informal summative rather than the formal summative? Then you have the defense. Okay, you have to come up, the head of programs have to come up with the kertas kerja, how you want to implement it. And then just now I already show you one example. Okay, we do it informally, and then we have the same time, different type of question, but same level. Yeah, same level of cognitive. So few lecturers sit down together, we design the questions, and then we ask the students to complete the problems, to complete to provide the solutions within 3 hours. So they will sit in front of computer, try. Okay, no one disturb them. All right. So it's like traditional exam style. Okay, but the questions change, the way how we access them change. So how AI can support? Okay, now we go for the AI enhancements part. How AI can support all of these assessments. The first one is content generations. AI can be used to generate content. I'm sure this one, everyone know about that, but there is no policy to block us actually, but we have to make sure the content is correct. So usually how I make sure it is correct, when I ask for the fact or questions with the answers, then I will ask for citations or references, URL, so that I can click and link to the particular page, and then I read the content to just cross check whether the answer is correct or not. And then we also can use AI to create assessments rubrics. This helped me a lot, basically. Even though I am one of the APP for MQA and MBOT, I don't categorize myself as an expert in developing rubrics, because in some, depends on the course, depends on the nature of the subjects, and then we have to design different rubrics, and design the rubrics is not easy actually. It's quite challenging. So I request AI to improve my rubrics, my previous rubrics, and I get a lot of informations and enhancements from my rubrics actually. And then delivery feedback. I will show you one example of how I get the feedback from the AI, and then I share with my students. Okay, so usually we don't do that, but with the AI now, we can grab and prepare the feedback easily. And tracking analysis, like just now, the early of the knowledge sharing, I have the questions, right? Asking about tracking analysis. It is good for some of the lecturers that have applied AI tools for tracking and analysis, which means that we already subscribe to the ChatGPT. Okay, otherwise, yeah, you should be able. You should already subscribe to the ChatGPT. Then only you can do all of this tracking and analysis. Okay, it's good. It's good. Okay, throughout implementations, how we do that? As a general methodology. Okay, I found that throughout the APP exercise, I found that some lecturers didn't do it well. So I want to share with you what we should do. Okay, as a lecturer, usually we will spend a lot of times in preparing and designing CLOs, designing questions, designing answers and rubrics. And usually we should complete this one before the semester starts. Right? So what we have designed, usually no one to check for us. That is the issue. No one to check for us. Okay, until if you have a committee in a university, you maybe submit to them and then they will check for you, but they will take time. So how we should use AI to improve it, right? AI to improve it, especially for the CLOs. Okay, I found that some of the lecturers, they didn't improve the CLO. The CLO is very, very short. Just simply apply method A, nokta. That's all, full stop. Hello? Anyone? you may interrupt me during my knowledge sharing sessions. You may interrupt and ask questions, of course. And then, if possible, you ask Gen AI to propose and improve the CLOs so that it meets the taxonomy level. Okay, you may do that for improvements. And for questions, I don't ask AI to generate the questions because I already teach these certain subjects for many years. I already have the experience. And then what I did, I always I always refer to the previous past year questions. I grab it and then I post it in the Gen AI. I ask Gen AI to propose few questions based on what I have posed. And Gen AI is very effective. After I click, it just spend about 2 seconds to generate the number of questions. Yeah, so from that, I revise it because the questions generated may not be related to what I want. It's just based on the type of the questions from my past year questions, right? And then you have to specify what topics you want. So it may not match with our JSU and ding dong, okay? So you have to spend some time to create a very good questions, a set of very good questions. And then also you can ask Gen AI to improve the grammar parts, okay? And create and improve the answers or rubrics. You also can do that. All right. So this is how AI can help us to prepare assessments, not only for summative assessments, for your portfolios, for your assignments, for any questions, any type of questions. Then we will go for the second phase, which is the marking phase. Okay. Usually lecturers will mark the students' answer scripts manually. This has always happened throughout the 20+ years of my experience. I did that. Okay. And previously I have a tutor for help for the marking. All right. But now no more. So I have to spend more time on that. But how we can use AI? We can use AI to do the marking as well and do the comments. Okay, last two semester when I taught Java programming, all right, instead of checking the code and syntax myself, I post everything to the Gen AI, and then Gen AI will do the marking. So I also will mark, right? But when I compare to Gen AI, I found that Gen AI marking is much better than me. Why? Because programming is talking about syntax. So it will capture every single mistake. For me, 4 mata pun tidak cukup. Okay, honestly, 4 eyes also not enough to identify because students writing, some of them are doctors. And then if you want to refer to code, you can ask the students to submit the code in a soft copy form. Just upload, and then the AI will do the comments, everything. But again, I want to emphasize, compare the results. Compare the results. Why? Because some articles claim that AI is quite biased. I'm not sure how biased it is if referred to the codings. Okay, because it's very strict, direct. Which code is correct, which code is not correct, and then we can get the direct feedback from the AI. Okay, but they claim that AI is not AI is biased. So you have to, probably for the social science subject, maybe it happens for a gender-based or I'm not sure about that. Okay, I never asked AI to evaluate that side, the social science side. Okay, but again, I want to emphasize, compare the results. Then only we prepare the marks and grades. So next we go for the feedback phase. So what will happen in the feedbacks? We share the marks and grades to the students. Okay, of course we get their feedbacks. Very simple one. After you have get the results from the comparisons, okay, then return it to the students in a tutorial class. We have the tutorial class, right? Just spend about 10 minutes, and then ask students to spend some time to read about your feedback, about the AI feedback, whether they accept it or not. Okay, about the marks, whether they accept it or not, you will find that they're very happy. Okay, for those who are a little bit aggressive, they will debate with you. Then you have to consider whether the particular answer is correct or not. Because sometimes in some of the cases, the answer A, B, just an example, okay? Answer script for A, it could be answer script for B, both of them correct, right? But then you a little bit biased to A. So students will fight for that. Then you have to debate. So this is what we call a feedback phase. And this is very important so that we know the students really learned or not. Okay, they really learned or not. So throughout this exercise, AI can enhance our tasks, okay, and the quality of the assessments. So what are the type of the alternative assessments? Basically, I would say this. If you really want to replace your summative one, you can consider propose to your faculty of project-based assessments, e-portfolio, reflections, peer reviews, and case studies. Okay, I found that the most easiest to apply is this one, case study, to replace the formative. Same case studies, different group of students, okay, different place, enter the whole and then solve the problems. Okay, you can do it in a individual base or group base, but so far in our faculty we do it individual, yeah? Case study base. And then these another five alternative assessments that can be applied, but a little bit difficult to replace the summative assessments because summative is talking about individual, usually individual. So this will take time. Real world simulations will take time. Debates and panel. Formative part is okay. Okay, digital storytelling formative part is okay. Peer teaching also. Peer teaching can replace summative part based on the content. Okay, that the students prepare as a peer, and then service learning project can be used. Okay, as sulam lah, we call it sulam project can be used to replace the summative part. So case study, sulam, peer teaching presentations. So you have to prepare the kertas kerja and then to replace it. Okay, so we look at the alternative assessments, how we can do it. Okay. All right, examples. I can give you my subjects. It is a programming-based subject. So the most important thing in programming subject is the programming skill itself. Whether the students really have the skills. This is very important. Okay, not memorizing every syntax, but we want them to know how to create the program, solve the case study, solve the issues. So we give them a timeline, okay, and then we ask them to solve it. So this timeline is 2-3 hours now. Yeah, we call it lab test, and then the students will answer the lab test using any AI tools. We allow it. This is lab test. This is lab test. Sorry, this is not summative one. Okay, for lab test one, we allow it because students now we don't want to emphasize on memorizing every single syntax, how to solve it, but they can use AI tools to solve it, and then it will be rubric based. So basically, why it is rubric based? You use Gen AI to solve the problems. Definitely you can solve it because Gen AI will provide the answers. Same as your assignments. If you're asking about theory, Gen AI will definitely able to summarize everything, provide the theory, and complete the assignments, right? So don't access the particular cognitive parts, but we access something else, which is for me, programming subject, we have access on the code efficiencies. Gen AI do not know what you want, and the students do not know how to request for that, to not know how to prompt for that. All right. So the first one we assess the criteria is the code efficiency. It doesn't mean that you provide me 30 pages of codings, okay, the more the merit. I will give you score A. No, I'm talking about how short it is to solve the problems. So this is what we are going to evaluate. And then the second one is we want to test the debugging and the testing. All right, because program, I'm not sure whether you ever try to create some programs or not, but you must do some testing. AI will create the programs, but the testing part, it will not done everything. So the students have to do it manually to figure out the problems. Means to debug lah. Yeah? And then think out of the box, which is creativity. Whether the students is creative. Okay, some of them, they are very creative. You're asking A, but they give you A, B, C. And then you give more marks, right? And then you also test about their problem-solving skills, or we said it cognitive skills, how they solve it. Okay, so they have to provide something else. They have to provide the flow chart. They have to provide the UML, okay, and the codes. And then they have to present the codes. Okay, they have to present the codes. So during lab test, they submit everything within about 1 hour. Then next 2 hours, they have to present. So when they present the codes and the diagrams, you will be able to identify whether these students, the particular students, okay, really understand or not, or just simply prompt from the AI. If they simply prompt from the AI, AI can generate all of these, no problems. Okay, no problems. But do you understand? That is the issue. Did the students really understand the codes? So as a lecturer, we will ask the questions. What will happen? I always ask, what will happen if this code, I change this part to that part? What if I remove this particular line of code? Then it's talking about debugging and testing. Then the students have to answer. Okay. So throughout the presentations, I can give them based on Rubik's matrix. All right. And as I said, some of the students, they will show within 1 hour, others can do until 50%. He can do 100% or more, 120%. He do more. So that one is creativity. So throughout the exercise, this is how I apply AI to solve, to assess the students as well. And then, yeah, last time I also grab everything, ask AI to test the code. Students submit to us, it doesn't mean it will work. Okay, it doesn't mean it will work. Even though they use Gen AI to develop the code, but then it may not work. So after I test it, I found that it's having some limitations, which is related to the debugging and the testing. Then I deduct the marks. I note down, okay, these students, this code is having this issue, okay, so less marks on the debugging and testing. So creativity, not creative, just simply based on AI, Gen AI tools. Then you will have a graph, you will find that most of the students, if they fully use AI without learning, then they will skew it to the most left. They will have very less marks. For those students, they have used AI, Gen AI to generate the codes, generate charts, everything. They understand, they are able to answer you, they will be on the middle. And those students who are really good, they will be on the right skewed. From these, it's easy for me to identify the students, which students having the skills, okay, and whether the students really learn the concepts or not. And then the second example I can give you.
Can I ask
Yes.
question
Sure.
regarding the presentation? How means each and individual student have to present for the lab test, and then how long it takes?
Very good questions. Very good questions. So in this lab test, we have 3 students in a group, because students have to generate each of these, and they have to, my question is not simple lah. And then they have to come up with discussions, which code to be submitted. You will find that even though they are using same Gemini model or same ChatGPT model to answer the questions, they will get different answer. They will get different answer one. Very seldom of them will get same answer, exactly same answer. So they have to sit down and discuss yang mana yang boleh diguna. yang mana yang betul. And then they present. Okay, so during the presentations, each of the groups given 10 minutes only to present the course. Okay, so they present the overflow, macam mana bergerak, then you ask questions. You don't spend too much time on the presentation, because in my CLO, I didn't evaluate their presentation skill. I don't evaluate the fifth one, communication skills. I want to evaluate their understanding, cognitive part, still cognitive part. So I ask questions. So you have to break the lab. You have to break the lecture into small labs, and then in the labs spend some time for the students. Okay, I did it successfully actually. So one lab about 30 students. So divide to 10 groups, and then each group given about 5 minutes presentations, 5 minutes Q&A. Yeah. So I did it in one lab test. Okay. So this lab test is not every week. It's not every week. I only did it 3 times in a semester. 3 times or 2 times in a semester. Okay. So to replace the summative one. Oh, you need lab test. You need lab test. No, you need subpart. Okay. I hope I have answered your questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, about evaluate the GUI design. Okay, some of the subjects is related to the GUI, which is about more on UI UX design ataupun arts lah. Yeah, but as a lecturer, you have so many students, or you have so many group of students, you may be biased. So what should you do? Actually, you can reduce the time by using peer review. Okay, by using peer review. And also during the peer review means that that particular group of students have to present. Okay, one group present the other groups as a peer to evaluate their friends. So I found that this is quite effective, where lecturers give the links to the students to evaluate. Okay, the project based on the rubrics. You have to explain to the students about your rubrics, how to give the marks. Okay, and then I found that for the first time I implement this one, I make a mistake. I just asked the students to give a marks. I didn't ask for feedback. So end up, I found that after the assessments, all students give very good marks. They want to help their friends help them also. Kawan tolong kawan. So everyone give very good marks. Then the second time when I do it again, okay, in the same semester, I ask for feedback. If you say your group, that particular group is good, okay, you give full marks. Why? You have to justify. If your justification is wrong, then I will deduct marks for the peer. So peer yang kena. So in this exercise, we have a rubrics to evaluate the project, who is doing the presentations. Okay, the peer, we also have a rubrics to evaluate the peer feedback assessments. Ini kerja banyak sikit. Okay, you have to spend a lot of times in doing that. So the peer submit to the reviews via the LMS, but because if you do it during the presentation sessions, during the lab sessions or the tutorial sessions, not enough time. Okay, so we ask the peer to submit the reviews via LMS, and then also their friends will not know lah. Dia tidak akan tahu siapa yang evaluate project mereka. Okay, so to avoid bias, pergaduhan lah, inilah itulah. Okay, and then the peer submit the reflections prompt after reviewing. Ini yang saya cakap tu. They must submit the reflections prompt. If they say this color and this color, this design is not good, why? So based on the criteria, why? Dia kena jawab. Okay, bukan simply bagi markah sahaja. And then at last we evaluate the students project based on peer rubric metrics and also reflections prompt based rubrics. And I found that the most challenging part is the number of groups, because we are doing project presentations and the group assessments, and then you're having the peer assessments. It doesn't match the number of the peers. Okay, dia akan terlebih. Di situlah a little bit difficult to adjust. Yeah, but I found it is very interesting in doing this alternative assessment. All right. So for this particular exercise, we found that AI didn't involve in any of these activities. So how I say that AI actually enhance on this part. Right? I'm sure most of you still blur macam mana mau design peer review for the this exercise. You can actually post the prompt to the Gen AI, and then the Gen AI will generate example for you. From that, you grab the content, grab the rubrics, and then apply. It will propose the timeline. Later on, we will see from demo. Okay. Next example is about language one, writing essay. Because I give actually from my previous webinar in the UMS, I talk about this. So one of the lecturers asked about how we can use AI to enhance for the language side. Okay, she found that actually when she posts a case study, ask the students to write essay, students just pump to the AI, Gen AI, and then Gen AI will generate everything. So same case lah, because you ask, you directly ask and then wait for a few days, students give you the answer. Okay, what we should have is the engagements and then learnings in the sessions. Okay, so what happened? I propose group discussions to discuss the essay point with the friends. Okay, for those who are teaching language, this idea may be good for you. All right, so split to 3 to 4 students per group, and then ask the students first discuss the essay point with friends in the class, in the tutorial class, without using any AI tools. Okay, that is the first task. So the students will think, at least they use their brain. At least they use their brain to think something, and then collect everything, and then they have the points. Next, only compare their points to the AI points. So you have to guide them how to prompt the AI for the point, not ask for the long essay. Okay. What I did in the exercise was the students write down the point, snapshot, post it in the ChatGPT, and ask for comment. So ChatGPT will comment each of the point, whether it's suitable or not, and then what are the points that are missing. Okay, so from this exercise, the students learn more ideas. And next, the students have to complete the essay writing within the timeline. Okay, maybe you said half an hour. Okay, now you got the point. We have another half an hour. So try to write the essay based on all of these points. So then compare again the essay writings, especially for the clarity, grammars, writing styles, everything, okay, to the AI tools. So I proposed it to the lecturer. She found that this is much better, but then she have to spend more efforts on doing this in the language class.
Dr. Chin, so for this
Yes.
activity, they do it within the lecture hours, not take home. Or
Not take home. If you take home, definitely they will ask AI to do it. Some of the students lah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. All right. This is about art. Art lecturers ask for opinions. So I proposed a very simple one because I'm not art special expertise. Okay. So let's talk about one of the topic, which is color theory. We know that color is very important in arts. Okay. So ask the students to complete the artworks based on the case study. What he explained was usually depends on a certain case, okay, students will design an art based on the particular case. So case study lah, it means case study. Okay, students draw it. And art is very abstract. It's very subjective. There is no correct or wrong. Okay, we always use the words cantik, tak cantik to justify all of this. Yeah? But actually, you can use a rubrics matrix to design it. Contrast, based on the contrast, based on the apa sudah tu? Creativity, contrast. I can't remember all of the terms that in the rubrics. Okay, and then compare the images generated by AI tools. All right, this is what I have proposed to the lecturers. And then grading is based on rubrics as well. So after the students compare to the Gen AI tools, they will have a better idea. Oh ya kan, kita boleh draw begini, kita boleh lukis begini. Okay? For an example, if we always, because in the Form 5, I took, during my Form 5 lah, SPM, I took arts actually, lukisan. And then one of the questions was about lukiskan halaman rumah. Halaman rumah. The topic is very general, halaman rumah. So it depends on the students how to design. You know, always we have two mountains with a sun in the middle, and then houses. We have people working around, sama ada padi sawah kah, ataupun play around that kah. But if you pose the same questions to the AI may generate something else. So this will actually increase the students' creativity, improve their creativity. From the arts they have view, dia dapat idea lagi. Oh yeah, with these terms, with these themes, I can have a better drawing. Okay, and then the lecturer have to explain the weakness and the strength of the arts. So here is very important. And the lecturer asks which AI tools is good to do this. Generate image. If you use ChatGPT only generate one image for you. If you ask for more, money comes. Okay. So I would suggest you, I think most of the university already subscribe for the Adobe product. If you use Adobe product, you can go for Adobe Firefly. Okay, Adobe Firefly, dari situ kita boleh generate image. And if you realize in my slide, I put source AI generated image. Okay. Actually, most of the images I'm using here are from Firefly. ChatGPT saya tidak subscribe. Okay. Bukan tidak mampu, but I don't subscribe lah because I seldom use ChatGPT to do. And then we have so many Gen AI. So kalau ChatGPT kota dah penuh, I go for Gemini. Gemini penuh, I go for another one. Okay, DeepSeek. All right. I ask something very general. Check my grammars from my writings. And then kalau perlu, sekiranya perlu, when design the questions, I pose the questions, check for my grammars, improve the English, and then suggest another set of questions that is similar to my previous questions. Then dia akan bagi idea. So I'm not fully utilize it now. Yeah? So I don't subscribe. All right. And AI tools. Ini pesyarah yang suka tanya nih. AI tools, apakah tools yang sesuai? Apakah tools yang sesuai? This webinar, this knowledge sharing sessions is talking about assessments. So I only focus on assessments. If you talk about AI tools, there are many AI tools. And in fact, all AI tools can be used to generate questions and answers. Okay, Gen AI, I'm talking about generative AI tools. Macam ChatGPT, Gemini, apa lagi itu DeepSeek. Okay, if you have more, no problem, no issue. As long as your prompt is correct, the questions and the answer given is related and correct, then it's okay. Then you have to check. So responsibility itu sekiranya kita lihat kepada policy. If we read the policy of AI in our KPT, it's stated very clear. The lecturer must check the content. Okay, and the lecturer can use any Gen AI tools, right? So why? Because we found that this Gen AI tool is really good. It is very knowledgeable. Okay, it can help educators to prepare higher level higher order thinking level of questions. Itu kelebihan dia. So it will shorten our time in doing all of our routine tasks. But please double check. Please double check the quality of the questions and answers. Okay, there are articles showing that when a particular lecturers generating 100 MCQ, there were 1 or 2 questions that are wrong answers. So meaning that the data pumped to the Gen AIs for the learnings is having mistake. Okay, so that is the reason why it generated wrong answers, not questions, wrong answers. So when we prepare our questions and the answers, we as a subject expert matter must know. Okay, must identify and know all of this. Bukan main copy and paste. Okay, so what I'm going to propose, if you really want to focus on question generators, you can try ChatGPT. So semua dah ada kan, Gemini, DeepSeek, and Question Well. If you want to subscribe to Question Well, it is good actually. Okay, it can generate question based on text. Kita post text, dia akan keluar MCQ, dia akan keluar short answer. But the issue is you have to subscribe lah. Yeah. You may try actually. You can just type Question Well and then register using your Gmail as a free user, and then you can try over there. Saya pun boleh demo nanti. And Rubik's Creator, I found that among these 3, I'm always using these 3. Among these 3, masih ChatGPT lagi tepat. Okay. On the first time you post, it already know what you want. DeepSeek, Gemini bukan salah, dah tak salah, but it doesn't know what actually you want. It will take time. You have to refine and customize. Then only you will be able to generate what you want. Okay, but if your prompt is very clear, then it shouldn't be any problems for Gemini and DeepSeek to generate the Rubik's. Okay, or improve your Rubik's. Right? And then peer review systems. Saya tak pasti di UTM macam mana, but in UMS we have peer review systems under LMS, e-learning UMS. Okay, memang guna LMS tersebut. Okay, but if you want to subscribe for peer grade, you can do it. Okay, kalau nak free, guna saja LMS. So what does it mean by these peer review systems? You only have to create the peer systems in the LMS, and then the students will be able to access the soft copy of the submissions, and then they can give the feedback, they can give the Rubik points, dan the marks. Okay, sama juga e-portfolio. Dulu ataupun sekarang, most of us use portfolios. You want the students to submit everything, hard copy. You may change to e-portfolios. Also is available under the LMS, okay? Or you may cut the students to use Google Sites. Okay, Mahara kena bayar, Notion kena bayar. So go for Google Sites lah. So what is this e-portfolio? Good is it will be long term. Okay, hard copy yang kita ada, ini juga selalu berlaku when I go for evaluate program or course. When I found that under course the students have the lecturers have prepared portfolios, assessments, but the lecturers only prepared 3 copies. Sebab hard copy. And good results, middle, and the average lah, and the poor one. Itu saya nampak. So how about the rest? So where is the proof? Kalau saya nak tengok lebih banyak, so how? The lecturer claims that already written to the students. It is good, at least you return to the students, and then you have a feedback. Tapi mana feedback? Tiada. Okay, there is no feedback. If you use LMS or Google Sites, it will be always there, especially Google Sites. And now, students are very smart. Don't say that, alah, saya tak pandai Google Site. As a lecturer, saya bukan orang IT, Dr. Chin, saya bukan orang IT, saya tak tahu Google Site macam mana nak guna. Don't do that. Ask your students to do that. Ask your students to find YouTube's how to create Google Sites. I can tell you, students are very smart and very digital literals. Within a day, they can create their homepage with the Google Sites just based on the YouTube's tutorials. Very easily. Kalau kamu nak, saya pun boleh conduct Google Sites workshop. Okay, I can teach you step by step, hands-on activities. Okay, I repeat, students now are very smart actually, and they are very digital literals. So pause the questions, ask them to do it. Then it will be there. When they go for a job, they want to show to the company, they can show the Google Sites for the e-portfolio. This is their artworks. This is their project. It's better, much more better than we keep all of the hard copies. Okay. And next is the feedback tools. Actually, in UMS, we also use LMS. Okay. And then you can use Kaizena, AI text summarizations, or any Gen AI can do the feedbacks as well. Okay. So these are the common tools that you can use. I don't go through one by one. I don't go through one by one. And if you really want to spend some money, you can use Question Wow. You can subscribe to Qlian Z ataupun Quizlet. Bagi pensyarah yang dah mula dengan micro credential, okay, I'm sure Open Learning will help you. Okay, there is how to say functions on the right sidebar. You can click based on your text, generate the questions. Okay, generate the case study. You can ask AI to do all of this. Right? Yeah, that is the question generators. So next, let us demo a little bit. Okay. If you want to, I know that there are young lecturers and there are senior lecturers in the group. So if we want to create a task, I would say, okay, no matter it is project-based or it is portfolios or whatever to the students. If you don't have any idea of what to do, you can simply prompt using simple sentence to the Gen AI. Any Gen AI will do. But there are limitation lah. I see, check the grammar. I always do that. Check the grammar, check the grammar. Okay, let's say this one. Propose project-based assessments for the course ethics in AI. That's all. Because you're going to teach ethics and AI in AI, for an example, for next semester, and you want to create a project. So you post this one to the Gen AI and then submit. So what happened is all Gen AI will propose. Okay, you can use DeepSeek, you can use Gemini, and compare them. Right, and compare them. But you found that ethics in practice, case analysis and solution design, is this what you want? You have to read and understand. Is that mapped to your table for content? In this project, it is to analyze real-world ethical issue. Okay, this is okay. Project-based. Okay, and then apply ethics theory, ethical theories and frameworks. Okay, and then propose the response and communicate. You will find that the CLO already prepared for you, the project CLO. Then you can map the project learning objective. Sorry, the project learning objective already posted to you, so you can map to your CLO whether it's correct or not. Okay. Then the learning outcomes. Oh, it already listed all. Okay, up to demonstrate. Okay, design. Oh, C6, design. But is that suitable for you? You have to summarize this one. You have to redesign. And then it suggests that part A, case study selections, group research, students 3 to 5 per group. So all of these, you have to revise, redesign. Okay, conduct in-depth research. And blah, 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 blah. Okay, it proposed assessment rubrics. This one, weight 30, 20, 20, 15, 15. Is this what you want? Again, if not, a proposed timeline lagi, okay, reflection, discussions, everything. If not, you should improve your prompt. So what is the best prompt? Where you should go for this one, more detail. Okay, so you can simply change this one. If you want portfolio, just put portfolio. Nothing is wrong. We try and copy and paste, we compare. Okay, ethics with a subtitle. Okay, this one not project anymore. I want portfolio for the course. Okay, and then we have a subtitle. There are so many topics in your course. Okay, ethics in AI is a course, 14 weeks. So, yang manakah you want to emphasize? You can post more. If you have table 4, okay, point to the right topics, then put it here. Apakah topik yang sesuai? Then what are the rubrics criteria? If you look at here, it proposed that these are the rubrics criteria. Then as a lecturer, you have to think. As a subject matter expert, you have to think whether this is suitable or not. Are you going to evaluate their team collaborations and peer evaluations? Are you going to evaluate their creativity, communications? If it is not mapped in your table 4, remove it. Okay, this is the fifth component, communication skills. Okay, and then this is can be a leadership lah. Okay, if you want to relate. Dan tiada pun saya punya portfolio, saya punya project is not mapped to that particular components, okay, learning components. Okay, then modify and then put it. Reflection is ranked 0 to 5. Then you pause. Alright. Portfolio base. Okay, ada bagi title lain lagi. Okay, based on the objective, based on the case study analysis, it will generate the ideas of what should you do. Okay, now rubric metrics, score 0 to 5 for the scaling. Okay, not poor, semua dia bagi. Okay, suggested timeline, berapa minggu, because this is portfolio. Okay, so it tells you that bila kena dapatkan maklumat daripada pelajar. So when the students must complete and submit their answer. So throughout the semester, portfolio done. Portfolio done. All right. So from here, what we can see. Okay, when you prompt for an AI, you have to first mention what type of assessments you want. Okay, what type of assessments you want. And then, what are the main topics that are related you want to access. Jangan bagi general topic. Okay, if you leave the main topic, AI pun tidak tahu apa yang kamu nak access. So you better list out the subtopic. That is very important. 1 topic, 2 topic, 3 topics, boleh saja. You just pump it. Okay, and if this is a project based, this is a e-portfolio or whatever, refer to the criteria. Because you want to use a Rubik's matrix to evaluate. And lastly, rank. Give a range for the rank. So this will generate better questions for you. Okay. Of course, you also can generate sample of e-portfolios. Just now we use e-portfolios sample. It will also provide the details. So from that, as a lecturer, slowly you learn, okay, to solve it. Right. And again, if possible, ask the students complete everything, the assessments in the lectures, in the tutorials or in the lab exercise. During the tutorial or lab sessions. Lectures, you have to focus. You have to focus to deliver the knowledge and do some engagement or activities. Okay. If you want to do observation, can based on the students' discussions in the lectures, whether they have participated to the discussions or not. But it is referring to communication skill, interpersonal skills, all of that lah. Yeah? Make sure you have mapped to the correct PLO. Okay. So ideas to help students. Yeah. ideas to help students. We always introduce AI tools. As a lecturer, I know that you don't like AI tools. Maybe some of you don't like because it creates a lot of troubles for you, but we can't leave it. Okay. From the articles I have read, I found that maybe for the next 5 to 10 years, these Gen AI tools will be available for everyone. Now it is still very fresh. So the company can generate a lot of money, and then they need a lot of money to train the AI model. But for the future, maybe it will be free. Okay? Because when it becomes very common and everyone need that, they will switch to other technologies. Then the particular technologies will be maintained. For an example of our phone. Last time, my phone bill was about 400 per month because call my fiance, you know, like, as a husband, as a boy, okay, how often you have to call your girlfriends. So with that, it's charged very, very high, okay, for the phone call. But now it is totally free. You call pergi mana-mana pun dia kata free. All right. So the technology is there, it's free. Okay. So AI will always will be achieving that level as well. Tapi makan masalah 5 to 10 years. Okay. So what or not, we have to teach our students, guide our students how to use AI tools correctly. Okay. Jangan bulat-bulat ambil, but you have to learn from the AI as a tutor. Then second is provide support. AI tools to provide support to the lecturers, to the students for the learnings, for the teaching as well. Okay, not for the assessments part. So try to assess your students when they cannot touch the computer. That will actually ease the task. Okay, and replace all of this issue. And then we encourage for the critical thinking. Okay, encourage students to post some questions to the AI and ask for more exercise. Previously, we have the OBE constructive alignments exercise kan CQI semua. For the past 2 years, for the past 2 years and older, I always receive students say that contoh yang diberikan tidak mencukupi. Okay, exercise tidak mencukupi. So when I ask students what exercise they want, or they want to do more exercise so that they can perform better, they think in such a way. But now we have AI already. So in the class, in the first lecture, I already guide my students. Kalau tak cukup exercise, you want to do more, ask from the Gen AI, not from the lecturers. You don't have to spend money to buy the book. If you are rich, then it's good. Buy some books and then you can do a lot of exercise. But you will find that actually the exercise written on the book, actually is quite fundamental. I show them different examples, and then you will be always doing the same level of exercise. In such a way, it doesn't help. I ask the students to try with the Gen AI and then generate more questions. And up now, there is no comment at all about tidak cukup latihan. And they know that they can ask from the Gen AI and they can do it better. And the last one will be keep up to date, right? If we found that this AI era, the technology changed very fast. Okay, again, I can tell you that as a coordinator, actually I love technology, so I always read some books, these are articles, refer to the YouTubes, TikToks to see what are the changes, update from the technologies. I found that I also cannot capture that, cannot follow that. There are too many. If you refer to my notes, I have a notebook actually list out all of the tools available. What are the functions? You will find that the ranking change very fast. Okay, today this AI tools is very famous. Next week, no more. The other ones came out. So how? So as teacher, as a lecturer, we still have to keep up to date. All right. That is the most challenging part, I would say. But also students. Students also emphasize to them they must keep up to date. Okay. So that they will learn more, they know more. This is part of lifelong learning. Okay, challenge may faced by lecturers. The first one is time and effort to design. I know that traditional assessments is there. Okay, mau tukar sakit kepala. Ya, memang sakit kepala. Okay, memang headache. And then, as I mentioned just now, we already have the MQA guideline. Must have summative, must have formative. So, summative tu tak boleh buang. Macam mana? Then you have to prepare kertas kerja and justifications how to do informal summative. Okay, like what I mentioned just now, not only in our program, other university ada juga program yang sudah tukar. They don't go for programming summative, duduk 3 jam, duduk buat saja. They go for informal and test higher order thinking. Okay, that will be much better to see whether the students really have the skills or not. So you have to think out of the box and spend more time and efforts to redesign. Okay, and don't do it yourself. Do it yourself is really a burden. Okay, and very stressed. Honestly, I start to do it myself, and I cannot think out of the box. And I group all of the programming lecturers, discuss. We also don't find the solutions, and then we benchmark from other university. Oh, begitu pula dia buat. Betul juga. Then we follow. Okay, and then limited tools to scale feedback. Bukan sahaja limited tools, we also have very limited times to actually get the feedback, summarize them to see. But this is part of the CQI for the course curriculums, right? We should do it. Okay, we should do it. We found that if you are proactive and you always accept students' feedback, then students can learn more, can think more out of the box. Yeah? I received a very positive comment from my students. Thanks to Dr. Chin, dia kata, to totally change the way how we learn IoT. Dia adalah pelajar diploma, from diploma, and then during diploma he already learned IoT, but I'm not sure what constraint it is that he didn't touch the component. So he learned the theoretical, so more theory, so more fundamental. So end up dia tidak tahu macam mana nak pasang and Arduino components, actuators, semua. He knows everything, but how? What are the problems? When hands-on, you will found that there are other problems occurs. So I reduced the theoretical parts. I emphasize more on the hands-on psychomotor. Okay, and then I proposed higher psychomotor assessments, and throughout the exercise, he scored very good results in IoT and also final project. Okay, he created very good project actually. And difficulty in tracking individuals' contributions, and this is a big challenge to the students, especially for group works. So don't allow a big group of students to do a project or an assignment. Okay, we usually limit to 3 students. I usually limit to 3 students. One could become the leader, the other to support. Very effective. Why I say very effective? In every group, secara natural, I would say naturally, there will be one leader who you don't have to care. They will select one as the leader, and the leader will be very proactive. Dia mesti siapkan assignment ni, mesti siapkan kerja ni. That particular person is the leader. Okay? He will check the other members to do, and don't post assignment or tasks in the early semester. Hujung semester baru kau kejar. Change it. Okay, change it to e-portfolio styles ataupun change it to project based. Tapi pecah. Setiap 2 minggu, I want to see your results. So setiap 2 minggu, I want to assess this part. So lecturer sangat busy lah, because previously you only have to spend 1 or 2 weeks at the end of the semester to mark everything. But now every 2 weeks you have to go with the students, okay, engage with them, collect their results, and then discuss with them, do the markings and everything. But for me, it's good lah. At least students akan complain. One of the group member does not contribute. Dia akan complain tu. Dia tidak buat kerja dah, macam mana ya, sir? So, how sir? Can you help me? Sampai ada yang bergaduh. Okay? Sampai ada yang bergaduh. So very interesting, very challenging. I would say very challenging. And inconsistency in marking, and this could be happen if lecturer is biased. So as a lecturer, as a subject matter expert, we have to work professional in a professional way, that we have to make sure marks is given based on outputs from students, and then you have to totally forget about the others part. Okay, no bias. This is very, very difficult. I know that. Yeah, I know that. And then I also facing the same problems on the, especially for the presentations. How to say it? In one of the lab sessions or the tutorial sessions, right? If we have 5 groups to present, okay, first groups usually kita masih energetic. So when they present, we ask a lot. Lepas tu kita nampak banyak kelemahan. But when you present up to the last group, you found that tadi first group markahnya saya bagi 5 out of 10. Tapi last group lagi teruk. Macam mana saya boleh bagi 7? Because when you are dealing with them and you talk with them, everything, kan, sometimes you will be biased for the first group, the earliest group. Okay, so usually I will have 2 sets. One is pre, one is post. What does it mean? Pre means I will simply scratch everything with the marks in the point. Kenapa saya tolak markah di sini? Kenapa di sini? Kenapa ini bagus? This is the first one. And then last one, sampai hujung sudah, semua markah diberi. Okay, I will see whether I'm biased or not. So I have to recall everything. Adakah saya bias kepada first group? Terlalu lenient kepada last group? That will create the inconsistency in marking lah. Itu saja isu dia. Okay, so that's all for my talk actually. So I would like to take this opportunity to share 2 things before end of my sessions and go to the question A. First one, I'm one of the guest editor for the International Journal of Humanoid Robotics. This is a Q2 Mechanical Engineering and Computer Science, AI punya field. Okay, if for those who are interested and have paper, you may visit the page. Okay, IJHR, kamu type saja IJHR call for papers 11, dia akan keluar. Okay, and the submissions for the manuscript is 30th of December, end of this year. Right? So if you are interested, and then if you want to opt for APC, we will charge. If you don't want to opt for APC, it's okay. Okay. And the next one I want to share is about conference. We will have a conference end of this year, and one of the co-chair. So I would like to invite you to submit for the IEEE Access conference, which will be published next year. Okay, I know that a lot of conference going on. Okay, so please, mana tahu lah ada lagi paper, yeah. So you may submit to the UPC. Maybe sooner or later we will change to EG chair because UPC is having a little bit problems. And please refer to the conference website. Okay, we will post the updates in the conference website, and we will invite more speakers. We are on that way. All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Open any Q&A to the sessions.
PM, ada question dekat chat PM.
Oh, kejap ya.
Okay.
Beratus soalan dia. Okay. No permission. For today and yesterday or today boleh, nanti saya share, jangan risau. Any link for that? Pity that students wondering how he's going to survive job interview in the future. Yeah, if the students act like that, terrible lah. Yeah, that's why unemployed rate sangat tinggi sekarang ni because of the students' attitude. Okay, macam anggap dia pandai, they are very intelligent. And when I was young about this, ada juga profesor begini yang layan pelajar. They first time when we enter the university into their course, right? They want to show us that jangan kau main-main, kau masuk university bukan sebab kau intelligence. Saya lagi intelligence. Ada hal begitu. So sometimes as a lecturer, we are just human being lah. Don't say we are too smart. Okay, and then students enter because of results juga kan. So attitude tu sangat penting lah ya. I use presentation assessments for assessing students' effective domain A to A4 during lab sessions. What is your opinions? Kenapa ada range between A to A4? Sepatutnya kita fix satu level lah. Oh, meaning kamu range tu. Okay. So if you have more than one presentations in the range of A to A4, it's okay. Okay, about A level lah. Cognitive level, psychomotor level, affective level kan. This is not stated very clearly in any form. Okay, but when we read the MQA punya methodology, dia punya garis panduan semua, by default begini. PhD cognitive mesti lah grade Noel kan. Psychomotor mesti ada because he is the one who do everything. Psychomotor pun mesti highest. Okay, and then effective pun mesti highest. Itu sebabnya kita ada YWASE. Right, highest skills. And then master level downgrade 1 or 2. And then degree pun sama, downgrade 1 or 2. So sepatutnya semua kursus sepatutnya, I don't enforce lah as an MQA panel, I just want to share my knowledge. Sepatutnya undergrad students should go for at least level 4 cognitive, C4. Okay, master 5, PhD 6. Baru Laudri. Okay. Effective paling rendah 3. Psychomotor 4. So it's 4, 3, 4. So effective here 2. Kalau boleh kasih tingkatkan lagi. Okay. But it's okay lah. You can update it. Yeah. And hi, I have a question. You mentioned just now that you prefer to only show short words in your slides rather than giving students the complete notes. Betul. If you refer to my slides, you won't be able to understand everything. If you don't join my class and focus my class, you won't be able to understand because point saja. So if the students don't join my class, they will miss the content. Okay, and they have to listen to understand. Betul. But how do you cater for those students who learning style are prod and visuals and readings, writing, and not auditory? Sebab sekarang ni kita ada banyak resources. If the students don't really understand from our slides, they can refer to the resources. Kalau dulu kan ini yang dulu semasa 10 tahun lepas, we always refer these feedbacks. Students complain that throughout the semester, the lecturer did not provide sufficient reference to the students. Okay, they did not provide sufficient notes to the students. Ada yang tidak share notes to the students. We shouldn't take this as advantage. We shouldn't bagi semua. It will become like spoon feeding sudah. It will create a very terrible behavior for the students, where students wait, dia tunggu. Mana dia punya slide penuh, mana dia punya nota penuh. And actually, we are the one who have been burdened as a lecturer. Kita kena sediakan semua. Itu tak betul. Because there are so many information now in the world, and internet is so the technology is so advanced now. Okay, they should acquire with the lifelong learning skills to grab more informations online. So kalau lah dia bukan auditorial, dia visual styles, it's okay. They can read from other resources. Ada satu. In your LMS, every chapter after I post my slides, post my exercise, post the lab exercise, I will post video and reading materials. From that, they will get all of the informations. Tapi bukan semua lah, sebab banyak betul video yang kita boleh cari, banyak betul buku yang kita boleh dapatkan. So, you post few which are important. Okay, then slowly they will know, oh, kena baca lah, kena baca. That will develop their reading style as well. Jadi dia tidak akan tunggu. I have a feeling that peer may not effective due to a lack of honesty. How can this resolve using AI? Tidak boleh. Guna AI tak boleh. You have to train the students. You have to do more activities and engagement with the students. So, kalau boleh, class size kenalah kecil and do the peer review activities during the tutorial class or the lab. Sebab itulah masanya pelajar kurang. Okay, and you can control. Alright. And saya pernah join satu because as a mentor, I have to assess the mentee kan. Saya pernah join seorang pensyarah yang dia gunakan peer review. So peer review exercise with the debate. Two groups debates depan, belakang peer review. So peer will give marks based on the point. Tapi topik agak berlainan. Topik berlainan, but same level of taxonomy is still acceptable. Okay. So group tu dia bagi markah berdasarkan point yang dia ada. And then after the class, after the debate sessions, peer akan diminta menjawab soalan. Soalan bukan daripada pembentang, soalan daripada pensyarah. Pensyarah want to know more. If this happen to your group, okay, so apakah kamu punya cadangan? Alright, then the students have to answer. Don't repeat the answer from the presenters. Okay, think out of the box. Baru dia bagi markah. Then from that particular exercise, students tahu sudah, oh iya, kalau saya tidak dengar bagus-bagus tentang pembentangan debates tu, didn't take the notes, okay, and then think out of the box, and I won't get good marks. Sebab dia tidak think out of the box, dia hanya sampai level of understand the other groups, what they did, summarize everything, then full stop. If they have a very good skill, cognitive skill, they can think out of the box, go for analyze more answer, find out more answers, and then debate and provide further answer. Okay, they will help them. Tapi benda-benda begini bukan 1-2 hari lah. It's not today you implement, today you will see the results. Not. You have to try many times. Then the students will know you. Oh yeah, one thing I found very interesting. Seniors will always share information with the junior. So if you have such a style of teaching and learning in your lecture or tutorials, then they will give tips to the junior. Then the junior will get it. Oh, dalam kelas Dr. Chin, mesti begini. This is part of formality lah, but they already know what they should prepare, what they should read. Okay, jadi bagi yang tidak prepare tu, memang kamu nampak dia tiada inisiatif. Markah di sana rendah. That's why you can use class participations to assess the students. Dia tidak boleh replace summative, but at least it's an alternative assessment so that our students aware. Masa depan bukan lagi hanya menghafal dan jawab soalan. Right? So I hope I have answered your case. So macam case itu boleh tak kira kata peer review under affective domain? Boleh. Okay, boleh tak peer review daripada contoh penolong jurutera lab assistants? Boleh tak peer review daripada contoh tidak berapa faham soalan? Penolong jurutera atau lab assistant? Ya.
Okey, maksud saya kalau peer review tu dilakukan oleh jurutera pengajar ataupun lab assistant.
Sekiranya mereka berada di situasi yang sama dan dengar fokus, boleh. Tapi adakah markah dibagi kepada peer review? Kalau tidak, dan menyusahkan peer review lah, menyusahkan lab assistant lah.
So sebaiknya antara student lah PM
Antara students
Supposedly.
dengan lab
Ya.
assistant.
Okay.
Okay. Boleh actually kalau mereka ada knowledge tersebut. Okay. Kalau mereka tiada knowledge tersebut, kalau boleh elakkanlah, ya. Because we are lecturing, there are lab. If that particular case study for the peer review, memanglah dia expert, then the lab assistant boleh terlibat. Otherwise jangan.
PM sebagai contoh macam bahagian teknikal part, contoh dari segi penyambungan sistem,
Boleh. Kalau begitu boleh.
calibration, so those are expert by ni lah, apa tu, penolong jurutera supposedly lah kan, itu maksud saya lah. Ya.
Setuju. Kalau begitu boleh. So dia lagi
Okay,
expert.
okay.
Kita bicara. Dia lagi
Terima kasih,
expert.
Ben. Terima kasih, Ben.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions from the floor? Sekiranya ada. Tiada. So my last word, memang mencabar untuk tukarkan summative assessments to the alternative assessments. Sebab dulu MQA tidak menyatakan mesti ada summative. Dia hanya mengatakan institusi perlu adakan assessments begini. So it lists it out. But now it listed mesti ada formative, mesti ada summative. Mungkin itulah ada pensyarah yang dah cuba gunakan alternative assessment to replace the summative, tidak mau makin banyak-banyak, dan itu jadi satu isu di mana kualiti pelajar tidak terjamin. Maybe through some investigations. Okay, but if possible, try to discuss with your head of programs or in a group of lecturers. Okay, find a situation or scenarios where you really can replace the summative. Because summative, usually we will only test their C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, sangat susah. But actually, what we target for out of the box C4, 5, 6 kalau boleh. Mesti tally dengan table 4 lah, ya. Mesti tally dengan table 4, mesti tally dengan semua kamu punya course learning outcomes untuk subjek tu. But if it's up to level 4, okay lah, tanya soalan-soalan yang berkaitan dengan HOT, okay. But is that what the industrials want? Kena tanya balik industrials. As a institutions lecturers, what we want is produce graduates that the industrials want. Kalau lah industrials terima pelajar kita tu, dia kata tak boleh lah pelajar kamu tiada skill ni, then you have to improve it. You have to change. Yeah. Oh iya, kenapa kami boleh change? Sebab kami dapat industrial feedback. Kan 2-3 tahun sekali kami ada curriculum review and the industrial complaints. Okay, students kamu bagus, boleh hafal semua, tapi bagi projek tak dapat buat dengan betul. Itu point dia. So, daripada summative, we want to change to informal summative. Barulah kita tukar tu, kita prove to the industrials that this problem kamu yang bagi kan, now our students can do it. Itu yang terjadi. Okay. So it's a long journey to go. Try your best, and that's all from me. I would like to say thank you to Dr. Sani and the team, Timbalan Pengarah CAES, UTEM for the invitations as knowledge sharing sessions for these sessions. Okay, I hope that you have benefits daripada sesi tersebut. PM boleh berikan sampel atau contoh? Tidak faham. Saya notice sukar untuk
Okey, maksud saya macam ni. Maksud saya macam ni, sebab kebanyakan example atau daripada mana YouTube kita check banyak yang dia share ialah cognitive ataupun effective. Tapi psikomotor saya notice sukar. Kita kalau check dekat MQA pun tak ada. So
betul. Jadi psikomotor bahagian Dr. Zikri field apa ya? Engineering.
Ya.
Engineering ada bahagian hands-on kan?
Okay.
Bahagian tu lah yang Sakamoto. Itu yang bahagian yang kita menilai Sakamoto. So your hands-on part will be more on your evaluation or assessments will be more on hands-on part.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Cuma sebab kita
tapi setiap
kadang-kadang kita persoalkan, kadang-kadang jadi tanda tanya pada kita. Kita nak tahu adakah apa yang elemen yang kita cuba nak akses tu betul sama dia, adakah dia P4 ke P5 tu maksud saya PM. Jadi ada kesukaran dekat situ, kita nak kena pasti. Yalah, kadang-kadang kita rasa macam kita main suka-suka je letak kan benda tu sebagai elemen, maybe P5, P6, 7 kan, things like that lah. Okay, saya rasa suka sikit dekat situ.
Okay, betul. Jadi kalau hands-on yang ikut kepada instructions, ini cadangan sajalah yang saya buat selama ni. Kalau hands-on ikut kepada instructions, biasa saya hanya bagi sampai P3. Saya tidak pernah declare hands-on tu sebagai Sakamoto tu P1, P2. Saya memang lower level P4 sudah saya declare. Sebab dia ada instructions yang siap sedia sudah. Dan biasa kalau instructions dia punya case study memang dah ada jawapan yang based on steps. Itu yang P4 tu. Kalau lebih sudah, saya masuk kepada 6 dan 7 based on case study. Itu yang saya kasih tingkatkan. Sama juga kan, ada pernah saya dinilai. Kita ada verbs determine. Kalau kita refer kepada taxonomy, OBE semua benda tu kan, we found that actually definasi pun boleh determine. Kan? Determine the process pun determine. So, how do we say that the particular verbs sesuai untuk level 5, C5? Kita nak determine strategi untuk apa. Okay, the keywords. APP tu tanya saya, panel tu tanya saya tentang keywords tu. Macam mana nak bezakan dia? So, bezakan dia ialah based on case study. Sekiranya soalan kamu sangat jelas, direct, boleh dapat daripada slide bulat-bulat tu benda tu, dia lower level. Kalau dia kena think out of the box, walaupun kita gunakan determine, dia based on case study. Jawapannya, daripada 20 jawapan, mungkin hanya 3 sahaja sesuai. Berdasarkan kepada justifikasi, based on juga case study. That one we up level. Dia kena think, dia kena berfikir out of the box. Bukan main hantam, pilih mana-mana yang sesuai. Itu cara kami tentukanlah level of the taxonomy dia tu. Okay. Saya harap kami jawab. Ya.
Boleh
Ya,
tanya satu soalan last, sorry. 12 tadi. Ini di luar sikit. Di UMS ada tak ini guideline yang dia kata kita check atau track percentage of using AI dalam report pelajar yang boleh berapa persen ke atau tak dibenarkan? Ada tak UMS tu?
Okay, kami masih tengah revise garis panduan tersebut, tetapi di fakulti kami lah computing faculty kan, kami ada satu borang untuk declarations form. Satu ialah pelajar kena tick sama ada dia gunakan AI ke tidak, and then bagaimana dia gunakan AI tersebut. Okay, lepas tu berapa peratusan daripada turn it in. So, we don't accept if more than 30%. Sebab plagiarism, kalau tak silap pun 25% ke 30% daripada situ. So, we detect lah. And then, kalau lah terlebih, memang tak accept lah. Jadi, pelajar sudah tahu benda-benda begitu. Di fakulti kami ada fakulti yang mau lebih rendah, mau 20%. Ada fakulti yang mau lebih lenient. So, we still belum sampai ke serat level lagi. Okay. UTM tiada, belum ada.
UTM general saja, kita tak ada macam strict lagi. Maksudnya kalau certain percentage kena minta supervisor atau lecturer tu recheck lah macam tu.
Depends lah kalau begitu. Ya, kami nak senangkan kerja. Ya, betul.
Okay.
Di fakulti kami nak senangkan kerja lah. Jadi kami come up with the form. Okay, jadi pelajar yang sakit kepala ialah pelajar hantar tu, dia kena hantar yang tadi in report tu kan. Itu
Yes.
sejalan. Kena cross check semua tu. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Any other question? I welcome any questions. Kalau tiada, again, I hope this sessions benefits you. Kalau ada apa-apa yang saya tersilap cakap, salah cakap, maafkan saya. Ya. And then sekiranya knowledge yang saya sampaikan tu terlalu cetek, you please inform me so that I can improve and improve. I accept all of the comments from my participants. Yeah. After all, we are learning. Okay. What edge is not the better, but we should learn and improve and improve. Okay. I pass it back to the Uda Setia untuk sesi ini.
Dengar.
Okay. Alright. Thank you very much, Dr. Cik. I can thank you enough for all of the sharing has been done, your experiences, the examples, the use cases, and I think it's really very beneficial to us. Banyak-banyak membantu, lebih-lebih lagi tentang pentaksiran, tentang AI tools yang digunakan. Contoh-contoh tu memang bagus, Dr. Cik. I think we appreciate and what being told, being done, being shared for this morning. Okay. Nanti mungkin ada susulan bagaimana untuk kita macam nak untuk kita mungkin praktis untuk AI tools ataupun proper assessment dengan psychomotor yang Dr. Zikri mention tadi tu, it can be delved more further after this lah. Okay, alright, thank you. Ada Dr. Chin, ada banyak request for your slide, Dr. Chin.
Boleh. Nanti saya sediakan. Nanti saya emailkan.
Alright, okay. Nanti I contact.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Alright, thank you. Alright.
Thank you, Cik.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.